We are wrestling. We are wrestling podcast.
They give a shout out to We Are Wrestling on YouTube.
You're watching We Are Wrestling.
I'm the host with the most.
You are by far the least intelligent.
What's going on, everybody? Danny Huckins here, man. 1/3 of We Are Wrestling.
What's going on? We are Wrestling Maniacs Worldwide. Ben here, the third of the talk show.
We Are Wrestling Podcast.
Make sure to subscribe, baby.
We are wrestling.
What is up? We are Wrestling Maniacs out there worldwide. I'm the host with the most, Mr. We Are Wrestling himself, the best one, Donnie, here with...
What is going on? We are Wrestling Maniacs. Ben here, the third of We Are Wrestling Podcast. And we're driving it duos today. We got a pretty interesting show for you guys today. It's been pretty great lately in the world of the wrestling news, so it's exciting to talk about it. So before we get into that, Don, hit him with the sauce, buddy.
Yeah, this, wrestling, man, the past month has been crazy, and last week was kind of dead, but this week, there's a lot of crazy news that we're going to be covering on this week's episode of the podcast. But before we do all that, if you're not We Are Wrestling Maniac yet already, and you're watching this, and you're not a part of the thousands of subscribers, we recommend you to hit that subscribe button now, turn on the post notifications. Videos be coming out of nowhere, like an RKO, and of course, you already know, the grind is real. And if you're a listener listening to the podcast on Apple or Spotify, we recommend you guys to give us a 5-star review. Not only a 5-star review, but a best review. And also download the episodes. It really helps with, getting our podcast out there for the thousands.
The thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands.
That's right, and we want to give you guys, heads up that this Saturday, Money in the Bank, by the time this, podcast comes out, we're going to be doing a live watch-along over on the We Are Wrestling YouTube channel. Myself, the Load Rager, and Danny Huckins will all be there, and we're going to be watching some good old Money in the Bank. And we recommend you guys, real quick as well, if you haven't checked out the predictions video, recommend you guys to go check that out, because not only do we give our predictions, but we dive deep into it.
Now is that at 3 o'clock? Is it at an odd time as well? Because isn't it in the UK?
It is at an odd time, 3 o'clock.
UK?
UK.
Okay, so 3 p.m. All right, good.
That's right. And honestly, I'm very excited for Money in the Bank. How do you feel about the Money in the Bank?
Money in the Bank is always a magical time, and it kind of like falls in line with Royal Rumble in a way because it's so unpredictable for the most part. They've gotten kind of better about it, and this is the first year that Triple H is helming Money in the Bank, so this is going to be a pretty snazzy event. I'm expecting a couple twists and turns. I'm expecting some more furthering of storylines, if you know what I mean. I'm really excited about it, man. There's a lot to talk about. There's a lot to dive in about it. But obviously, you guys will see that in the predictions.
That's right. And before we get into our highlight of the week, where Ben and myself, we're going to be giving you guys our highlight of the week in the wrestling world, I just, want to put this out there. Last week, unfortunately, I lost, one of my close friends, Scotty Duvall. He was, a big part of, my DITB1 YouTube channel. He did a lot of, acting series for my channel and, did a lot of, competitions as well. And, back in the day, Scotty and I, we used to wrestle on my trampoline in my backyard. And, he was very special. He was very close to me. And the link down in the YouTube descriptions below is, a link to his GoFundMe. Scotty's been, through a tough life, and I want to, spread the love. I want to, send my condolences, my love to, Scotty's family. He was a great kid, big heart. And, if you, can't donate, please share that link. It's the first one down below. We're trying to, raise enough money to give him, the services that he properly deserves.
Absolutely, man.
But now, diving into the highlight of the week, because this week in the wrestling world, it's been pretty wild. We had, Friday Night SmackDown, then, we had Collision, and then right after Collision, the next day, we had AEW New Japan Pro Wrestling Forbidden Door 2, which, holy shit. I had low expectations going into the show because I'm not a fan of the whole Forbidden Door thing, but man, they blew my mind from start to finish on that show.
Well, shit.
And Monday Night Raw, we had the go-home show going into Money in the Bank. And NXT is starting to pick up some momentum as well. So, Ben, what would be your highlight of the week?
You really want to know?
I really want to know.
So, it's probably going to take you out of left field, but maybe not. I'm going to have to say the return of the Lone Wolf. I'm going to have to say it because I've been wanting that shit. I've openly spoken on that shit on this channel. So, I even if it is a one-off, like Dan said, it was still a good one for us nostalgic fans who love that version of Baron Corbin. That is arguably his best version, and a lot of people were like, nah, dude, just snap back to the fucking Lone Wolf. And even for a night, to have that lone mentality, if you will, it was really nice, and it was good to see the fucking, again, instead of this fucking happy Corbin shit, and it was nice. It was a good reset, and it was a good nostalgic feel, and I'm all about nostalgia, so I'm gonna have to go with that.
That was a really cool moment, and it was, CFO's entrance song as well, which I know a lot of people have been very happy that WWE has been bringing back a lot of those black and gold NXT entrances now to, WWE. We see Sami Zayn. He's coming out now to Worlds Apart. And a lot of people, are very excited about a lot of these, songs returning. Even Shinsuke's original theme song is back as well.
Wait, Sami Zayn has Worlds Apart going on now?
Yeah, he's been coming out to it.
Oh, shit, I didn't even see it.
That's crazy, man. He's been coming out to it for a while. I'm surprised.
Oh wait, Worlds Apart is his old theme song,
Let's
right?
go.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, fuck yeah. Okay, no, I noticed. Sorry, I just had a mental fart for a second there, but yeah, no, dude, even that's lit as hell.
Yeah. So speaking of entrance music, my highlight of the week has got to be AEW New Japan Pro Wrestling Forbidden Door 2. Bryan Danielson, after 13 years of not coming out to his original theme song, he came out to the final countdown.
No fucking way.
A friggin' huge moment.
Huge moment just for get his arm popped in fucking half and then wrestle on it for 10 minutes.
I know he made him tap out, which Okada, believe it or not, I actually found this out afterwards. That was the second time he ever tapped out in a wrestling match. The first person was Shinsuke Nakamura to do that to him.
Really?
And Bryan Danielson did it with a broken fucking arm, which is nuts.
Really? Wow. That's impressive. History making and troublemaking, unfortunately.
But it was so cool. It was so cool though to see him come out to the final countdown. You could see you could see through his face how much it meant to him, because he didn't even know he was coming out to it until TK told him right at the tunnel.
Dude, that's the thing. Well, one, congrats to TK for keeping that shit zipped until you're like, oh yeah, by the way, you're going out to final countdown. He's like, wait, what? No fucking way. And then just music, dude. Moments like that are amazing because the only other time that happened is when Edge came out in the Royal Rumble 2020. You could see the genuine emotion and appreciation on their face, and that was another moment. So, dude, fuck yeah. I'm going to actually run back that footage.
And that's the thing about Forbidden Door, too. There was a lot of dream matches. You had Kenny Omega versus Will Ospreay. You even had, Okada versus Danielson, which them two, are the greatest technical wrestlers in, their countries. So having them two go against each other, it was really cool. It was a really cool moment to see the final countdown. Bryan Danielson already said, like, it's probably a one-off because you're up there asking for a lot of money per, like song. So like every time they use it, they have to pay them.
A lot of
he
money
doesn't
too.
expect TK
Copyright
to pay
ain't cheap. Yeah, copyright ain't cheap, bro.
Absolutely. But guys, those were our highlight of the weeks. So now let's get into the topics for We Are Wrestling 63. So our first topic is about WWE Hall of Famer, the world's strongest man, Mark Henry, who right now is currently with AEW in a backstage role, mentor, coaching role, and he gets to do, the little main event thing on Rampage. But recently on Insight with Chris Van Vliet, Mark Henry was asked about a retirement match. Henry stated this, and I quote, "You know what? I've thought about it. And every time I think about it, I think, who? Who would be the person? I guess you could put up a poll someday and say, who would you like to see Mark Henry have his last match against? You better do it fast because every day I wake up, I'm thinking I might just have to go put that to bed." So, Ben, if Henry does do a retirement match, who would you like to see him wrestle? Any brand, any promotion. Who would you like to see Mark Henry's last opponent be if he, gets the proper send-off?
Last opponent. Okay, so he's not who Mark Henry used to be. All right, he's not like the world's strongest man that we knew as a dominant force coming in and, fucking putting Batista on the shelf after his, first run as World Heavyweight Champion. He's not that Mark Henry anymore. As for last opponent, I don't know because, it has to mean something. It has to be big because, he was a dominant force. He wasn't just somebody you can forget, kind of like the Great Khali, So that's kind of hard to answer because a lot of those, key players that were a big part of his, his uprising as Mark Henry, not, Sexual Man Chocolate, Mark Henry, they're gone. They're either retired or, they've passed away, what have you. There's not a lot of those people anymore. Putting, him up against Big Show or something would just be kind of, a cop-out, it would feel like, just because it's like, oh, it's an old guy from WWE that just crossed paths with him, eventually. It's going to be a moneymaker. No, that's a Vince McMahon move. And if you want to really sell it, you have to have the right guy. So you're looking, honestly, wow, that just kind of came into my head, right, as we thought about it. Like, it just snapped into my head. I found somebody. If there's somebody that could take care of him in the ring, but also make him look like $1 million, I'm gonna tap in Keith Lee. I'm gonna tap in Keith Lee 100%.
Wow, that was one of my answers. That's funny.
Yeah, I was like, I don't know why I didn't think of that in the beginning. I could have just saved that entire spiel. But yeah, if you want to keep it authentic, but you want to keep it big, safe, and still have him have his longevity, not have massive surgeries after, and somebody he could really go in the ring with to make him still look like a star, it's Keith Lee.
I really do like that for Mark Henry's last match.
Absolutely.
Because Keith Lee, especially in his WWE run, he reminded me a lot of Mark Henry, except a little bit more
Mark Henry
athletic.
if he could fly.
Mark Henry with the moonsault.
Basically, yeah.
Honestly, like, I would love to see, like, WWE Keith Lee versus Mark Henry as his last match because it would be the proper send-off because Keith Lee, is basically the closest thing to a Mark Henry that we're going to get.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, in AEW, his run has been very...
I feel so bad, too, because it's been so fucking lackluster, and I just, I hoped for bigger things for him, too, just like everybody. I want to see that dude win.
Yeah, but unfortunately, the first time that he got COVID, actually, it really has affected his wrestling abilities as well.
That and his fucking size. If he would just slim down a little, not even slim down, just define, lose a lot of that, that body fat, focus more on your calisthenics, work more on your cardio, do that, something that'll, help the heart in a healthy way it'll help you shave down some pounds so you're more agile, but it'll also increase longevity, especially if it's more of a lean diet more than a carnivore diet.
Yeah, but the thing is about like his weight and stuff, that does tie in with like what he dealt with the COVID, and that's why he's been struggling to lose the weight.
And that's why
Which
I'm
has
saying
been a
he
big thing,
needs
and that's why it's been like one of the biggest what ifs right now
the
in
best.
pro wrestling.
I'm gonna end my standpoint. Like, if you have anything to add to it, go for it. But I'm gonna end my standpoint with this. They should write him off TV. Give him at least, even if you're just selling a big injury, give him 6 months to really chisel down, work on a new diet, do different types of workouts. Like I said, cardiovascular, calisthenics, work on your balance, work on DDP, DDP yoga, work closely with DDP, work closely with a lot of these trainers that can specialize in slimming and chiseling out a bigger dude, keeping him big, but, obviously getting him more defined, more chiseled, more
Back
agile.
to like NXT, Keith Lee. That's what you're trying to say, right?
Not even more so than that. Slim him down even more. Like, cut a lot of that body fat down. Let him move more. Give him more mobility. And I swear to fucking God, he's going to be the next big thing. 100%. Like, it's just give him time, but make sure he can do it. Monitor him. Do whatever the fuck you have to do, but get him there. And I swear to God, he'll be a star.
I will say this about him. I do think that he does need to be written off of AEW TV, and they need to, reinvent him. Give him some new vignettes. Give him some time away from AEW so that when he comes back, you can, redeem his second run. Because his first run has been very lackluster. Like, for me as an AEW viewer, I can admit this. They could have done a fantastic job with, the whole Swerve and Keith Lee, breakup. Mm-hmm. Them two, they had a good breakup, and then they really didn't do anything big. There was really no payoff. There was nothing. So it made no sense. It was like, Swerve went off on his own. Keith Lee went off on his own. And they're both in worse positions now than they were as a tag team. Like, they were actually 100%. Booked properly when they were teaming together.
No, you're spot on.
It's crazy, but honestly, like an NXT Keith Lee versus Mark Henry would have been the perfect send-off for Mark Henry. But if I had to pick somebody now, honestly, I wouldn't mind seeing Mark Henry fight Powerhouse Hobbs. That's another up-and-coming guy in AEW who's got a lot of muscle.
And who could also use a big push and a big accolade to really put another jump in his career.
And there's ways to do it too, like if Mark Henry, because I'm also thinking about it from like a realistic standpoint, because Mark Henry, I'm sure, is under contract with AEW for the next few years. I'm sure he's happy with the role he's in because he gets to do other ventures, like go to independent wrestling shows,
bookings,
and also gets to be on Busted Open Radio. So he enjoys what he's doing. But I do think, like, realistically, if he wanted to come back and he's under an AEW contract, I think a guy like Powerhouse Hobbs would be perfect because he's a homegrown AEW talent. He's got a look. He's got, the muscles. And honestly, having Mark put him over could definitely take him not only from the TNT Championship, could take him into the World Heavyweight Championship and make him a main eventer.
Especially if you give it a more drawn-out feud with some good storyline and some substance in there. Maybe make some callbacks to his WWE days where he was great, It really all comes down to the writing, the right people, and it really comes down to the green light ultimately.
Absolutely, and we're definitely gonna have to see what happens with Mark. I think that he definitely deserves to have a proper send off. I feel like every pro wrestler deserves to have that, and especially I know a lot of them don't like to. A lot of them just end their careers, when they decide to end it without having that final match. But hopefully, Mark Henry, one day we can get that. But I think right now he's focusing on getting his son ready for wrestling because I do see
man. It's time for the next generation
he be on them friggin' weights, man. He's lifting heavy.
Dude, like I said, it's time for those new generations to start rolling in. We're getting older, man. We're up there now.
Yeah, we are. Absolutely. But moving on now to our next topic. at AEW New Japan Pro Wrestling Forbidden Door 2, we saw a shocking heel turn happen with Jungle Boy, which in the stream I called him Jungle Man because he turned himself from a boy to a man, and he turned heel and attacked Hook. How do you feel about Jungle Boy, turning heel? This is the first
Hollywood
time in
Jack
his
Perry,
career.
right?
Jack Perry.
Hollywood Jack Perry or something like that?
That's something Danny freaking wants.
Oh, Jesus. Oh, fucking Christ. Why the fuck? Now I just embarrassed myself on that bitch's behalf. God damn it. All right, so Jack Perry. All right,
Hey, the lesson real quick before you give your thoughts on that.
Yeah.
Ben.
What up?
You've been friends with Danny for years.
About 10 years in December, yeah.
10 years. You should know by now. You can't take everything he says lightly. You have to take it with a pinch of salt.
Yeah, always got to be. But yeah, I never learned my lesson there, dude. Just I love the kid, but my God, bless that boy's heart. I don't know how he made it this far, but bless that boy's heart. But yeah, no, I think that's really good. I think it's cool. I think that and I've preached it many times on this show. You guys can roll back the footage, Don. You can roll back the footage if you want. Heel turns are essential, 100%. They are very essential in a person's career, especially when they've been riding the dry face, face fucking lifestyle for a while. And I've always seen something in Jungle Boy. I've always seen something, but I was like, there's something missing there. And I knew it was a heel turn, but I was like, it just, with the way his storylines were going, I just like, it's going to be a while. It's going to be a while. There's no perfect time right now. I'm like, they're just going to drag this out until they can, And apparently it finally fucking happened. And like I said, reinventions are so key. You can't be riding the same wave your entire fucking career. You have to change it up, but you have to find a way to do it that appeals to fans, because if they do not connect with it and you cannot sell it, it's a fucking dumpster fire career burner right there, man. But I have a lot of faith in Jungle Boy because that's gone now. We're wiping the slate clean. He's going to be his own man now. He's bringing on the Perry name now. I'm glad that TK sees something in him enough to not only keep him on TV, but to reinvent this dude and allow him to even prosper more on TV, because there's a huge ass locker room that is not on TV right now. So the fact that they're allowing this to happen, something big must be cooking up. So honestly, like I said, bravo. I'm glad. Reinventions are so huge, and that dude deserved one. So let's go.
Jungle Man.
Jungle
I'm
Man.
so proud of Jungle Man.
We're going to turn his fucking loincloth into tights. Heel turn, bitch.
But here's the thing. I got to give Tony Khan credit where it's due.
Always.
And he's been building this heel turn for quite some time now, but a lot of us didn't know when it was going to happen because, of course, at first with Jurassic Express, he was teaming with Luchasaurus, and Christian Cage was, with them.
Bitch,
and
no, he was never with them. He just joined the group to fucking disband it. All right, let's get that straight real quick.
No,
I don't even watch AEW TV to know that shit.
But here's the thing. He was with them, and he was mentoring them. And then, he decided to turn on Jungle Boy with Luchasaurus. And Christian was trying to bring out the heel in Jungle Boy, bring out the aggression in him. But the problem is the way that they've been building Jungle Boy, he wanted to win his matches fair and square. So anytime like a chair or a title would be in place for him to use, he would refuse to do that because it was against his beliefs in the ring. So it would cost him, wins, which is why, Christian decided to turn on him and brought out this aggression in Jack Perry. And I got to say, it does make perfect sense to do it now. The fans, they're very repetitive of Jungle Boy. They didn't even want him to wrestle against Sonata at Forbidden Door. And he's just been getting a lot of heat. So it only does make sense to have him, turn heel. I think that this could definitely work out for him. And honestly,
TK is like, no, they can't hate you. They can't fucking hate you.
TK must have tuned into the podcast last week, or it was a couple weeks ago, when I was talking about how Jungle Hook is a waste of time. Because now Hook is going to go back to being a singles wrestler, and he's going to be getting his first actual feud that's going to actually be longer than 3 weeks, which honestly, I feel like he deserves it. And what better person to feud with Hook than Jungle Boy? Love it. Absolutely love it. But now, moving on to the next AEW topic that we have before, we get into some WWE stuff.
Fucking finally, but yeah. I'm kidding. No, but dude, I can talk about this shit all day because it's good stuff, and I think the next one is the bigger one of AEW.
This is one of our big ones. We were definitely contemplating on making this the main event or our main event topic.
I'm glad you didn't.
Because they kind of lie in the same category.
They do, but I'm glad you didn't because we've talked about this so much, but there is substance to this one, so I'm down to talk about it.
But there's more stuff to this next report. So,
there you go.
In the latest edition of the Wrestling Observer newsletter, Dave Meltzer reported that one top star in the promotion is fearful of the ticking time bomb regarding the issues leading to another incident with CM Punk and the Elite.
Jesus.
If you got that correct, congratulations. Meltzer wrote, one top name noted to us that they went home after the show on Wednesday in a bad mood, and even with the key people kept apart and not on the same show, described the fear of this being a ticking time bomb, and that will not have a happy ending. Side note, Fightful Select reported that CM Punk and Kenny Omega and the Elite were completely different sides of the building during AEW and New Japan Forbidden Door pay-per-view. So with all these reports coming out with CM Punk and the Elite, with, things feeling like they're going to, just spiral from here, what should AEW do about this?
I don't give a fuck what AEW does about it, honestly. Like, I really don't give a fuck at all. But at the same time, let me roll up the sleeves real quick. It's getting serious in this bitch. All right. So, when it comes to this issue, it's all about ego. And nobody wants to fucking let it go. Nobody wants to admit that their dick's smaller than the next guy over. They don't want to admit it. And this is another sentiment into that exact saying. It's unfortunate that a lot of these guys are over 40 years old. And they're still bickering like fucking school children. Like, dude, it fucking happened. It was almost a career ender for a couple people. There was almost a lot of money fucking lost. I think there already was a lot of money lost over it. Like, rich people problems. And that's exactly what you're fucking displaying, is like just ego problems everywhere. And the fact that as grown-ass adults...
Well, do you know what the issues are exactly with the Elite and CM Punk?
The fact that CM Punk's back and he's probably getting massive pops, massive profits, and everybody's like CM Punk, and booing the Elite only. What?
It all comes down to
what's the fucking issue now?
This has been the issue, so... And I'm surprised... Well, actually, I'm not surprised that you don't know the full details, because I'm sure Danny left those parts out when he told you all of this stuff going on with his stupid, articles he sends us in the chat.
The shit posting? Yeah, continue.
So, here's what happened with CM Punk and the Elite. They were very cool at first.
Okay.
They were pretty good friends.
Everything was kosher.
But CM Punk and Colt Cabana had issues that, went back because of the whole lawsuit thing that happened with WWE's doctor.
Gosh.
And there's people in AEW that think CM Punk tried to purposely make Colt Cabana lose his job because when his contract ran out, Tony Khan didn't want to re-sign him, but the Young Bucks and Kenny and Hangman were trying to do everything they can to get their friend to, get that contract re-signed. But they thought that CM Punk was politicking and didn't want Colt Cabana there. But CM Punk has denied those allegations, despite, people not believing him. And then it led into him and Hangman having issues. And then next thing you know, the whole all-out, media scrum happened.
Did you hear that thunder? I'm sorry to take it off real quick, but did you hear that shit?
I did not.
How the fuck? That shit was loud as fuck. Damn. Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
These microphones are too good.
Yeah, dude, that's fucking nuts. But yeah. So the whole thing with Colt Cabana, man, like, why in the fuck do people just insinuate people are whispering in people's ears? This is what I'm talking about. Like, you have these people that are above 40 fucking years old playing fucking schoolyard shit still, and that is the recurring problem with AEW that many people have spoken about is the fucking drama pool. Like, nobody can grow the fuck up.
Wait.
And it's nuts.
Is 40-year-olds more embarrassing going at it, or 50-year-olds like Disco Inferno?
All right, so here's the thing.
Twitter.
So basically,
that man just doesn't shut up.
So you know how men don't get periods? So you know how men don't get periods? So we have this thing where, you know, we have our fucking teenage years, then we have our adult years, and then we hit 40. And then from 40, that is us basically building, like, us just dumping our year's worth of non-having period fucking days, just dumping it on the fucking world, so we're all bitches. Once we hit 50, we're in about, like, our menopause stage, so, like, we're kind of, like,
so that's
bothered.
Where Vince Russo and Disco Inferno are at.
Yeah, basically. They're at their menopause stage. By the time they hit 60, around there is where they start humbling up. All these, like, you know, actual real-life rivalries start to simmer down, and they start to become friends, and then next thing you know, they're on a podcast talking about their rivalry and shit by the time they're in their 60s, so
yeah,
they
Vince
should be
Russo
good.
and Jim Cornette talking about whoever dies first, they're going to piss on the other gravestone.
Yeah, and I guarantee once one of them dies, you know, flash forward 20 years, if the other one's still alive, he's going to be like, man, I miss my friend Vince. Like,
friend
literally.
Jim, bro.
There was this one time. Like, literally, that's literally all it is, man. Once you hit 60, around there, you're good. That's when the forgiveness starts to come around. You become buddy-buddy.
Well, I think Vince Russo's in his 60s, and he's still bickering like a 40-year-old woman.
Well, look at fucking Iron Sheik's tweets, man. Sometimes it just don't die down.
Yeah, but the Iron Sheik was having fun with it, all right? There's a difference between the Iron Sheik and Disco Inferno and Vince Russo's complaining.
Dude,
no, because
like, Domino's Pizza, fuck you.
No, because here's the thing that pissed me off about Disco Inferno, and I'm just going to put this out there
What
since,
is that, son?
talking about older men, crying and complaining and bitching. Well, it kind of pissed me off because this man, Disco Inferno, does not shut up about criticizing AEW. So he keeps talking about the ratings. He's like, oh, Collision is basically another Rampage, this and that. And then he talks about how the ratings aren't good, this and that. And it's like, I even quote tweeted him and I was like, do ratings really matter in 2023? Because
Apparently
last time
do.
I checked, there's a lot of people that have cut the cord. And people watch this stuff on YouTube. There's other people that watch it on other streaming services. And I had told, Disco Inferno, you want to save some money on your bills every month, I recommend you to cut the cord. But, getting back into, the CM Punk and the Elite drama.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is, absolutely nuts.
Another display of
continuing.
This is why the company would fail. If the company fails one day, this is fucking why. Is because nobody can grow the fuck up. That's literally the whole standpoint of the whole shit, dude. Like, you could be making bank right now, dude. You could be putting little shit aside that should be little by now. Like, it's been some time since that fucking media scrum. It should be little by now. And of course, there's gonna be some hard feelings about, the dude that you had problems with coming back and literally stealing the fucking show and booing you everywhere the fuck you go. Like, yeah, I get it. But at the same time, dude, take the heat and turn it into fucking money. That's what you were good at. Just go back to it.
See, that's like the problem that I have here. It's like,
Fuck.
I really do hope that this is a work. But honestly, like, separating them, this and that. The only good thing I see out of this whole, heat, and I believe I said this last week with Danny on, We Are Wrestling 62.
Yeah.
I think that, CM Punk's going to be primarily on Collision. The Elite are going to primarily be on Dynamite. And I think what's going to happen here, because the reason why Raw and SmackDown during the Ruthless Aggression era was so popular was because there was a legitimate war between both brands trying to prove that, they're better than the other brand. And I think that, with the Elite and CM Punk,
hell yeah,
you're going to have guys like CM Punk and Andrade and Miro who have not really been happy with their run in AEW. They're going to go on Collision and they're going to try to one-up Dynamite. And the same thing is going to happen on Wednesdays because the Elite, they're so egotistical like CM Punk that they're not going to want to have Collision, beat them in the ratings. So it is going to make interesting TV.
It's going to make interesting TV, but holy shit, dude. Like, that just shows, and I'm going to get fucking heat for this. I'm likely going to get heat, but I don't fucking care. I'm going to say it. I'm going to fucking say it, dude. That is why, this is why this is so wild. Is AEW is so fucking anal about ratings. They would shove it up their fucking own ass, dude. If they could fucking bottle it up and put it in a fake little penis and shove it up their fucking own ass, they would. Because this is nuts. They're going to be worried about fighting their own fucking ratings, that they're not even going to be worried about their own fight that they got going on with fucking WWE. So they're fighting ratings everywhere. That is fucking wild. That is an ego problem. That is fucking crazy.
I hate
no.
I'm
not done. I'm not fucking done. I'm still going on the fucking spiel. No. It is nuts that drama got so fucking wild and that you made a roster so fucking big that you wanted to be better than WWE that you had to go and make a third fucking show. That's fucking wild. You made a whole third show for a dude returning because you couldn't have him on Rampage or Dynamite because the world would go up in fucking flames and receding fucking hairlines with ponytails because there's a fucking guy here that has an ego bigger than mine. That's all it is. And that is what would sink a company. And that's where we're going down now. You made a whole third show for one guy.
All I could say here is good thing Tony Khan's got a lot of money.
That's what I'm saying, dude. Rich people problems. That's literally this whole fucking thing. Rich people problems. And now we're in the middle of it. That's literally where this is.
A lot of these WWE guys, they're going to be having rich problems when they compete for the Money in the Bank this later on today.
Literally, dude. Dude. Triple H is probably fucking laughing his ass off watching this because they don't even have to try anymore.
You see that, Vince?
Dude, this is good shit. Literally, they're literally eating themselves alive, and WWE just has the popcorn now. They don't even need to fucking compete anymore. They're just like, all right, we're going to do our own thing because they're doing their own thing.
We're going to be getting into later on.
They do, but that's a one-on-one thing with leadership. It's not the whole fucking show that's at stake here. It's not the whole fucking brand that's at stake. It's literally a daddy-son problem compared to a whole fucking franchise.
Well, you see here, it's a father it's a father and son and father problem in WWE. But then on AEW, it's a friend's problem. So you have high school and middle school drama over on AEW, and then in WWE you have like Harvard problems.
All I'm picturing is fucking two dads literally all I'm picturing is a dad and a son arguing on a hill with literally a whole fucking city just burning right behind them in the background, because that's literally WWE is the big is the little argument, and then the whole world exploding is AEW right now because they're eating themselves alive.
Well,
because he works with a bunch of fucking children.
I work with a bunch of fucking children. Yeah, it's definitely... Honestly, you definitely hit the nail on the head with your take there. And I'm an AEW fan, man. And I gotta kind of agree with what you said.
Dude, you're literally displaying it. You're literally just eating yourself alive in front of the world. Like, you're fucking too busy with WWE's ratings, and now you're having your own little fucking civil war. Look at that. Look at that. The Bloodline's having their one storyline, but the whole fucking company's having a storyline right now in AEW. And it's still not as compelling.
What better way to get us into a commercial break? Because up next, we're going to be giving our thoughts on the whole Bloodline Civil War match, because there is some creative, things going on there.
We just talked about the AEW Civil War.
We're going to be diving into some WWE problems in our main event topic. So, guys,
let's go.
We'll be right back with more We Are Wrestling 63.
Yo, monkeys. We Are Wrestling Podcast, and you're not. Bang!
Are you looking for wrestling content? Well, We Are Wrestling provides everything pro wrestling. The best one, Donnie, Danny Hawkins, and the Lone Ranger Ben are wrestling marks like you who love this sport. We Are Wrestling has it all when it comes to wrestling content. We have different podcasts, vlogs, reactions, full wrestling matches, live pay-per-view watch-alongs, interviews, predictions, and so much more. only on We Are Wrestling. What are you waiting for? Subscribe and become a We Are Wrestling Maniac now. We're back, and before we get into some of our WWE topics for this week's episode of the podcast, every week on We Are Wrestling, we like to do this thing called Comment of the Week. And all you have to do is comment on any of our We Are Wrestling YouTube videos. And this week, we have 2 Comment of the Weeks. Not 1, not 3, but 2. And our first one is from one of our, We Are Wrestling Maniacs, one of our loyal ones, at Brian Cutler, 4567. He's on our live streams a lot of the times, which later on today for Money in the Bank, we will be doing a live watch along that you're not going to want to miss. Me, Low Rager, and Danny, unfortunately. Well, here's what Brian Cutler said. Congratulations, man. This channel is awesome. The best channel on YouTube.
Fuck yeah.
And that was when we
Brian.
posted our announcement for TikTok reaching 600 followers.
Fuck yeah. Hell yeah, man. Love the support. Thank you.
We appreciate the support, Brian Cutler, one of our OG fans there. And the next comment of the week we have at Timmy James, the funny man. He commented this on Logan Paul, one of my Logan Paul reaction videos on the channel, and he said this. 2 WrestleManias, 3 if you count his brief WrestleMania 37 appearance. SummerSlam, Crown Jewel, Royal Rumble, Elimination Chamber, and now Money in the Bank. And possibly a return to SummerSlam. WWE are really getting their money's worth with Logan Paul.
That is actually a really, spot on the nail comment. Yeah, no, he's absolutely right. Logan Paul's run in any capacity has been nothing less than exciting. The dude had, I think the one issue, and it was very minor, but it was blatantly there, is he didn't really sell the fucking Mrs. Finish. That's really it.
Ago.
Yeah, that's really it. But other than that, it's been nothing less than fucking exciting. The dude can literally do it all. He was born for anything athletic and, any kind of, competition that has to do with any kind of athletic, the dude is a fucking genius. He's got serious charisma, a massive fucking following. Dude was a massive YouTuber. His podcast is one of the most successful, in the world. The dude's just doing side quests at this point, and he's slaying them all with fucking ease. He's got great mic skills, and his rivalries has been compelling. I mean, just alone one match is already a standout that's already history making, and it was his match in Saudi with Roman. The dude put Roman down for his money. Yeah, he lost, but I guarantee even Roman was damn, son, fucking even this kid can go. And mind you, Logan, I think, is only a year older than me. So that's nuts, dude. The fucking dude is collecting accolades after accolades. There's nobody that is on the grind like this dude.
And he hasn't been in the business for so long either. Which,
the only other dude that holds
more to that.
The only other dude that is an outsider that has stepped in the WWE ring that could literally hold a torch to Logan Paul's performance is fucking Bad Bunny. That is the only other dude. And they both fucking deserve the hype they're getting right now. They both fucking deserve it, dude. And I want to see Bad Bunny versus Logan Paul eventually. But right now, I love what's going on with Logan. 100.
And here's what I gotta say. Definitely that comment of the week, definitely hit the nail on the head. Logan Paul, they have been getting their money's worth out of him, and I think they've done a fantastic job, doing the viral moment and still not making it look stupid. Him and Ricochet, jumping on the top thing. What a great moment there. The whole Prime thing that happened during Logan versus Seth, that was great. And honestly, I'm really enjoying his heel run right now, and I gotta say, they're definitely getting their money's worth. Even, Impulsive. The episodes that he's doing with, these WWE legends and stuff, they're getting very good views, which, is great for WWE overall and great for Logan Paul.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Like I said, it works 2 sides of the same coin. It's great. And unfortunately, I can't really hold the same energy for our main event topic, but, this is a good way to dive into it.
That's right. So congratulations to both of our comment of the weeks. If you guys want to get your comments entered into, comment of the week, all you have to do is just comment on one of our random We Are Wrestling YouTube videos.
And if
That's
it's
all you gotta
compelling,
do.
it'll end up on an episode.
And yes, it'll end up on an episode. We'll either flame you or we'll acknowledge you.
I have to acknowledge this week. I have to
as well.
These were some really banging fucking comments, 100%.
Absolutely. So speaking of Logan Paul, one of his opponents in the upcoming Money in the Bank, LA Knight, there's, been reports going around with LA Knight. The reason why he got the Max Dupree character was because of his age.
Fucking dumb.
How do you feel about, LA Knight, not having like some people in WWE, pretty much not wanting to give him the big, opportunities because of being 40 years old?
Fucking garbage. I'm going to tell you why. You had people like Goldberg holding the Universal title. You have fucking old fucking Berg, who is old fucking news, who capped back in WCW, running the show at one point, having storylines with Roman Reigns at one point when you can't even get up the goddamn jackhammer, but you got this guy, LA Knight, who can get over with the crowd just by lifting his pinky. I'm sorry, but it's fucking stupid. Like,
he gets over with one word.
Yeah. Exactly. Like, dude, to be against LA Knight in any capacity, and I'm going to give you an example because it actually, I think, happened this last Friday. If you can fucking bury Rey Mysterio, who is a fucking former world champion, a Hall of Famer, etc., 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 has a dominant fucking heel as a son running WWE right now with fucking Rhea Ripley, I'm sorry, but if they're cheering you but booing the LWO, which is already still kind of a big thing right now, that's your moneymaker, dude. That's your fucking moneymaker. Because of his age, you should be putting these opportunities on him. He's not that old. Dude proves that he's got it in the fucking ring. He's got it clearly on the mic. He's got it physically, and he's got it with the crowd. What the fuck are you doing? Triple H knows what the fuck is good. Vince McMahon should have had... Not gonna go there. Vince McMahon needs to just be done. Just be fucking done. You're rich as fuck. Go travel. Do shit with your fucking wife. Do shit with your life. Bars. I'm sorry, but it's over. The show is over.
Danny,
Time to change... Time to change the fucking channel.
I need to take a sip of my water.
Take your fucking sip of your fucking Nestle. I don't give a fuck. But literally, change the fucking channel. It's time to pass the torch. It's over. This dude obviously knows what's good. Triple H knows what's good. And I hope he keeps that fucking energy and does what he wants to fucking do. Because in the long run, that's where the longevity resides. That's where your money resides. Is a dude that can get himself over just by fucking, yeah.
Well, I'm going to take, something from our good friend
Do
Wade
whatever the
Barrett.
fuck you gotta do.
I'm afraid I got some bad news.
I'm afraid I've got some bad news. What's up?
Vince McMahon's not married anymore.
Well, I don't give a fuck. The whole world is his wife. He got the money for it. He could literally have who the fuck he wants just by pulling out his wallet, all right? He's fine.
He's married to the
it.
brass ring.
Yeah, exactly, dude. He could clearly have any fucking woman he's want. He's proved it publicly. So what the fuck's the deal?
Yeah, so, getting into the LA Knight stuff.
Dumb.
I do find it crazy that, like, this whole age thing is still a problem in WWE. Like, it's always been an issue, and I don't understand why. Because let's look back 10 years ago.
Let's have their guys dye their beards.
Had LA Knight on their roster. They had him a part of their developmental. And recently he did an interview on Chris Van Vliet's podcast. And the reason why he was let go from WWE wasn't because of his talent. It was because back then, the former trainer of the, Performance Center, not, Albert.
Yeah.
Bill DeMott, which he didn't say Bill DeMott on the podcast, but Bill DeMott, had a reputation for, starting a lot of shit and taking advantage of, his coaching powers. And that's the reason why he got let go, because of issues with Bill DeMott. And that's what I got to say here. it's not LA Knight's fault that WWE fumbled him when he first was a part of their company. They could have definitely done a lot of things with him 10 years ago. Everybody saw in Impact Wrestling how great Eli Drake was. And he was, he was over. And he was still doing pretty much the same act that he's doing now with LA Knight, just on a bigger scale, on a bigger audience. And I think that, if the crowd is connecting with you and you're over, especially with what you said about, the whole Rey Mysterio thing, one of the top baby faces in your company, and they're cheering for LA Knight, that tells you everything you need to know. LA Knight needs to turn babyface. They need to just put a rocket on this man and let him go to the moon.
Can you imagine LA Knight as a fucking babyface? That would be hysterical. Just because the dude would still be running bulldozers over people on the mic, dude. Like, LA Knight literally is world champion material. Like, dude, you could put him against Roman tomorrow in a babyface role, and I would fucking buy that shit and eat it up like in a heartbeat like I did with Sami Zayn. I'm sorry, but I would fucking eat the shit out of that. Like, he's so goddamn good. And for you to fumble that when it's right in front of you now, you're dumb as fuck. You're dumb as fuck. That dude needs to win Money in the Bank, and that dude needs to cash in on whoever the next world champion is, even if it's not Roman. Even if it's Seth fucking Rollins, dude, I would buy it. No
Intercontinental, no United States champion. The world champion. That's how the Money in the Bank should be.
Yeah, like, I want to see him cash against Seth fucking Rollins, dude, for the world heavyweight champion. For the World Heavyweight Championship. I want to see that fucking happen. Even if I have to wait until fucking SummerSlam.
I don't want that. I want him to cash in on Roman.
No, dude. That's too fucking big right now. That's too fucking big. Way too fucking big. Way too fucking big. Way too big. That's
and
way
LA
too
Knight
big of a
get
steal.
Even bigger.
No, that's fine. But he needs to get his first taste of it, and that is Seth Rollins. That is more sellable. Way more sellable. And you need to give it pristine. Seth is already established. Great. You need a new face to carry a world heavyweight champion, which LA Knight is. So if you could turn him babyface, boom.
Doing that. The only thing that concerns me is they're both so over right now with the crowd, and you can't have a babyface versus a babyface.
Keep him fucking heel then. That's fine. LA Knight as a heel would fucking work, and he would make it even more prestige, especially if they gave him a more serious heel route. More serious. They would fucking
see that. I'll give you that.
He can do literally
I know how talented
everything.
He is.
He can do anything. That's what I'm saying, dude. His
he can
skills
turn
in the
chicken
ring,
shit to chicken salad.
That's what I'm fucking saying, dude. That's what I'm saying. Like, dude, Seth Rollins first before Roman. Walk before you run. And he needs to do his walk with his talk before he decides to sprint. And I believe he can sprint one day. But first, get him over with the World Heavyweight Champion.
Well, I'm not gonna mind that because then he's gonna go to Raw. So I'll take you. I'll take you on that.
They need the star power there, and LA Knight can literally make the crowd eat out of his goddamn hand. So
here's the thing I gotta say too about LA Knight with the whole age thing.
Yeah.
There's so many successful pro wrestlers that, were older, that, were big stars in this business. And one of them, we got the opportunity to meet, Diamond Dallas Page, DDP. He started off late in his career and became a world champion at a very, older age. But he still was able to work. And that's the thing. LA Knight, as long as he's able to, keep them gears, going, and he's able to work, and he's over as hell with the crowd, you put a rocket ship on that man and you friggin' send him off to the moon.
Yeah.
Because talent like that does not come often.
No, 100%, dude. And like I said, to fumble something that's right in front of you is fucking dumb, dude. Like, there is not many people that come around that are like LA Knight. There is not a lot of people. Like, the dude is just naturally gifted. He's just one of those people that just picks up a mic. You could hand him a blank piece of paper. He'd read off it, pull up his little glasses real quick, put them back on, and he would just go. Anything that comes out of his mouth, gold.
And I got a perfect example, too. Like, this is how you know LA Knight is so good. When he was given this Max Dupree character for the Maximum Male Models, he actually, the best he could, made it work. Yeah. As well. Because, of course, the reason why it didn't work was because people wanted LA Knight.
Oh my god!
But
when
even
he
if he was in
turned,
that
it was
role, he
goosebumps.
still would have made it work. But everybody's glad he's
Dude,
back to LA Knight.
when he turned back to LA Knight and did that
Loved
first,
it.
yeah, I was like, goosebumps, goosebumps. I was just like, oh, he back.
But it's crazy they gave him that managing role because of his age. Yet they have Brock
Yeah, dude.
Lesnar still wrestling. They got Randy Orton wrestling.
Undertaker just fucking retired.
Pretty much.
Ric Flair
like,
just passed out 16 times during his last match, but yet LA Knight
70
too old to
years
be a
old
champion.
wrestling.
That's what I'm fucking saying. But he's too old, right? Yeah, no, it's fucking dumb, man.
Age is just a number. It's the way it works.
Sometimes it's just a number.
Well, in this case for LA Knight, it's just a number because the man, he's moving around like he's in his 20s.
Abso-fucking-lutely, man.
Yeah.
100%. Yeah.
But moving on now to our next topic. Speaking of Money in the Bank, which we're going to be doing a watch along later on today. Definitely recommend you guys to join us on the We Are Wrestling YouTube channel for Money in the Bank, 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. But according to WrestleVotes, WWE has 2 finishes in mind for the Bloodline Civil War match. Hearing WWE has 2 very Jurassic finishes in play for this conjunction, I'm told the Usos and Solo were a part of a run-through session this past Friday at a closed location to go over things. How do you feel about this, Civil War match, and what do you think the finish should be for this match?
So did they say what the choices were?
They did not. Nope. Just there's 2 sides right now. Like there's 50% of WWE people that want, Solo and Roman to win, and then there's the other 50% that want the Usos to win.
So if the Usos and Solo are involved in any capacity and they had to go to a disclosed location to go over things, I have a feeling that Solo's turning on Roman. I have a feeling. I just got a feeling, especially since we're a pay-per-view away from SummerSlam and there's not even an announcement as to who Roman's facing. So I'm going to go with, I think that Solo's going to turn and finally go with his brothers.
Damn. Well, here's the thing. I feel like the Solo and Roman thing is not going to happen until later on, in my opinion. But I do think what they should do. So if I was booking this match at Money in the Bank, honestly, I might get some, backlash for this. I might get some heat.
Oh, God.
I feel like you might agree with me on this one.
Oh, okay.
So Roman has not been pinned since Baron Corbin back in 2020. I think at Money in the Bank, Roman should get pinned.
Yeah. I think it should be on behalf of Solo.
And that's where this can lead to SummerSlam. You can have Jey Uso versus Roman Reigns because Jey Uso will be the one to pin Roman. And it makes sense because Roman hasn't been pinned in over 3 years. So the person that pins Roman, it makes sense that he gets a title shot, right?
Yeah, honestly, that's a good take. I'll bite. 100%. I'll bite.
I don't want Solo to turn on Roman yet because I feel like there's more story to be told with that.
Yeah, because eventually we're going to get Roman versus Solo. So
eventually we are.
Probably.
But honestly, even because that's the only thing why with the Jey Uso thing, I know they wanted to swerve us. They surprised both of us. We were in the same room when this happened. This is why I wanted them to wait until Money in the Bank, because I would have liked Roman to defend the title against Jimmy Uso with Jey still, being confused on which side he wants to do. And then I would have, found a way to, have Roman win, but Jey, helps his brother out. Yeah. And then going into SummerSlam, we would get Roman versus Jey. I feel like the lack of title defenses is my biggest issue here with Roman.
100%.
Got this championship 1 month ago. and he's already had more title defenses this year than Roman Reigns.
That's what I'm saying.
This championship that Rollins got 1 month ago, Ben.
Yeah, no, I know.
He's defended it more than Roman within this year.
Yeah, dude. It's nuts.
That's fucking nuts.
Mm-hmm. It is.
But you definitely know they're cooking up some crazy shit if they're going to a closed location.
Yeah, if it has to be that closed off, it's going to be nuts. So.
And I feel like this is definitely going to be the last match of the card.
Oh, 100%. It always will be.
Absolutely. But before, we get into our main event topic for this week's episode of the podcast, and guys, we'll be right back with more We Are Wrestling 63.
Hey everybody, it's Hall of Famer Devon Dudley here. And when I'm not putting people through tables or testifying, I am listening to one of the greatest podcasts in the world. We Are Wrestling Podcast. Check it out. Testify.
One thing We Are Wrestling recommends you to do is support your local independent promotions. They are the stars of tomorrow. And you never know, sometimes when you go to these shows that might only have 10 to 30 people, you could be seeing the next future WWE champion, maybe even the next AEW star. And through the years, I've always been a huge advocate to supporting independent wrestling. And you can't go wrong. It's a cheap night out, you get a good time with the family, and you get to watch some good old wrestling. Independent wrestling, that's where usually a young professional wrestler starts their career. And having these opportunities to perform in front of crowds is a great way to get exposure to where they will eventually be on your television screen watching them every week. We recommend you guys to support indie wrestling. So now let's get into the main event topic.
Yeah, boy.
We Are Wrestling 63. So earlier on the show, we talked about a divide in AEW with the Elite and CM Punk. Well, there's a divide in WWE as well.
More drama.
According to multiple wrestling reporters out there, WWE CEO Nick Khan and WWE head of creative Triple H are reportedly unhappy with the latest interference of Vince McMahon. Meltzer noted that it's going to be frustrating for the writers. It's going to be frustrating for Triple H. The thing is, it's Vince, and you can't say anything. That's what somebody brought up to me. And if you're a writer, you can't say anything to Vince. Even if you're Paul, you can't say anything to Vince because it's like you're fucked if you say anything to Vince. So you can't say anything. And there's even, some people that wish that Vince McMahon would, make some of these crazy decisions that he's making at the tapings a few days before the show happens. So what should WWE do about this situation? Because you have Triple H and Nick Khan who, took over when Vince McMahon had to step down. And now, with the whole Endeavor, purchase that happened, they want Vince McMahon more involved, and within the next few months, Vince McMahon's going to be taking more control. So what would you do in this situation?
You literally ruined your family over it. You ruined your family over this place. Like, you ruined your whole fucking life over this place, you old sack of shit. Like, you need to just go somewhere. Like, go somewhere far away, seclude yourself, do whatever the fuck makes you happy, play whatever, grab your fucking toys, stick them wherever it fucking gives you pleasure, and fuck off. Yeah. Like, and fuck off. Because it's just, I can't believe it's 2023, this dude who retired and then came back just to fuck it up all over again, and we're still here. We're still fucking here. I'm lost for fucking words right now, dude. Like, bro.
I said this a while ago, and I kind of want to say it now.
Why?
Because I know we do got more, listeners now.
Yeah.
I think this all has to do with Vince McMahon's ego. Because
of course it does. Everything
when
is.
Triple H took over at SummerSlam to now, he has really changed WWE and made it must-watch TV. Like, I'm not going to lie to you. this past month, I've enjoyed watching 3 hours of Raw and 2 hours of SmackDown. And I'm even enjoying, highlights of NXT. And I've been enjoying what Triple H has done. He's brought back a lot of guys that he knows how to utilize. Some have been a little bit lackluster, like Bray Wyatt and Karrion Kross, but that's a whole nother topic for another day. But we've seen a lot of good with Triple H. I think
Kross has been picking up some dubs, so...
Hold on. One of the biggest things I got to give Triple H credit for is the factions. He's done a fantastic job with the LWO. He's done a fantastic job with the Bloodline. He's done a fantastic job just all around when it comes to, these factions that he's forming.
Yeah. No, I 100,000%. And like I said, I have to defend my boy Karrion Kross. Like, he picked up a dub, and I'm happy. The dude's been on a crazy streak lately. So the fact that he got, a dub and he's getting somewhat of a TV storyline is nice. So we're going in some good directions, but with Vince back in charge a little bit, I don't know, man. I just, I'm already, coming down with anxiety thinking about it. I'm thinking about all the good shit we have right now, and it's about to be taken away by some old guy that needs Viagra.
I think you need to take a hit of your pen. That might help you a little bit with the anxiety, buddy. Yeah, just let it sink in there. Let it out. Let it out.
All right, we're good. I'm straight.
So,
kinda.
with Vince McMahon, I just find it absolutely mind-blowing that he really just can't get a clue. Nope. They always say this, don't fix something that's not broken, and Triple H has done a lot of repairing to the WWE house. He has, took that friggin' hammer of his that he used to use as a weapon on people, and he's been fixing all the damages that Vince McMahon left in this mansion.
And not even just with duct tape Band-Aids. The dude is genuinely fixing things.
With his sledgehammer.
Yes, precisely.
They're rebuilding this home, and Vince McMahon is being... All right, this is the best way to end this week's episode of the talk show.
What's up?
You see here, WWE right now with Triple H and Nick Khan and, Stephanie, before Vince, decided to come back, are the three little pigs. And Vince McMahon is the big bad wolf. And, yeah, he finds a way every time to blow the house down. And that's what he's doing exactly friggin' right now with WWE. It's in a really good place. I think Triple H knows where the business is going right now. And I think the ratings are even doing great because of how good, the television product has been. And I feel like Vince McMahon coming back is only going to do, wonders to that. The ratings are going to start to decline. We're going to see, a lot of talent that are, being used really well, that are very over right now.
Over as fuck.
Lost. And we're going to be seeing guys like Omos, win the world championship pretty soon. And it's going to be a shit show.
Yep.
So the message here for this week's episode of the podcast
Vince
is...
McMahon does not have good shit.
There's a divide in WWE. There's a divide in AEW. Tony Khan, Vince McMahon, Triple H, all you people need to get your fucking shit together.
Put it in a bag and get it together.
Vince McMahon needs to get away from Connecticut. Needs to go far away. And Tony Khan,
far the fuck away.
He needs to, get these friends to be friends again. Because that's the only way that AEW is going to be able to continue to succeed. Is if they can just all freaking hold hands and freaking be friends again.
Yeah, boy.
But is there anything else you want to talk about before we close this week's episode off?
No, we killed it. We crushed it. I think we're good.
I think we did. And, before I do my little closing promo like I always do, in the YouTube descriptions, the first link down below, if you guys, want to donate to, my buddy Scotty's, services, the first link is down below. If you, can't donate, please, share the link. We're really trying to, give him the service that he deserves and, acknowledge him. But to the We Are Wrestling Maniacs out there, Let us know how you feel about the topics that, we covered on this week's episode of the podcast. We hope that you join our watch along on the We Are Wrestling YouTube channel at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Myself, the Load Rager Ben, and Danny will be going live on the We Are Wrestling YouTube channel. If you guys enjoyed this, make sure to smash that like button now. If you're a listener, give us a 5-star review and download us. If you're not a We Are Wrestling Maniac yet already and you're watching this, subscribe, turn on the post notifications. The link's down into the YouTube descriptions below. You can go follow the Load Rager and myself on our social medias and other YouTube pages, all that down below. In addition, you want shorter clips of the podcast, follow us on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter, all that down below. And of course, to all the We Are Wrestling Maniacs out there worldwide,
Jay is better than Jimmy.
Jay is better than Jimmy. And of course, you already know, we are taking over. Peace.